And I'm going to be dropping hard truth today, and most women will be offended by it, but I don't care, because trust me, if you remove sex from a relationship, I am sorry, 90% of women have nothing to offer. Women, have you ever considered why men die first before their wives? That's right. Now, men and women are very useful in a relationship, no doubt about this, but men are logical beings. They provide security and protection. Women bring sentimentality, beauty, and humility, and even support to a man. And we're talking about a healthy relationship. Mind you, I never mentioned sex, money, or childbearing. But regardless, all said and done, what does it mean when a man says to you as a woman, what do you bring to the table? Is it even right for a man to ask you that sort of question if he claims to love you? Because the question is beginning to irritate a lot of women, and a lot of people are talking about it in the mainstream media. But I don't think it should offend any woman. It just means, what value do you bring other than what's in between your legs? And if a man is asking you this question, it either means two things. He either feels he's being used, or you're not fulfilling your obligations to him in that relationship. He wants to make sure that he's not simping or getting played. And if you have to prove to him what you bring to the table, then there is a problem, because upon meeting you, he should already have seen or discovered your value before you even say it. Like, you don't even have to say it to make him know. He would sense it, he would see it. And I'm going to be dropping hard truth today, and most women will be offended by it, but I don't care. See, men work hard for their money, and these days we see women going online and saying things like, all we want is six-figure men, and not only that, we want men that are over 6 feet tall, dark and handsome, has got donkey joystick. And the funny thing is that not only are women clicking the like buttons in hundreds of thousands, but even women who haven't yet gotten their sheets together are getting in on the action. As a woman, I want to tell you, men, don't be afraid to ask her what she brings to the table. And if she has to think or be offended by it, then she has low value and nothing to offer. And look, it doesn't have to be monetary, because trust me, if you remove sex from a relationship, I am sorry, 90% of women have nothing to offer. Out of the 10% that do have something to offer, that do bring something to the table, at least 8% are either too cocky or they run with a modern day feminist ideology that's oftentimes misconstrued. Only 2% are humble about who they are and what they are. And these 2% are the ones that can consider being submissive to their men. Coming back to this 10% of women, this 10% of women have their men run ideas by them. They hold up brilliance on almost all topical issues. And when they are gone for a second, their absence is felt. Ladies, be that kind of women. Be that 10%. Be amongst those 10%. Let your man understand that the moment he loses you, he's going to be missing a greater part of himself, and thus you can only do that by bringing in your intellectual power, your ability to brainstorm ideas, make money for yourself, stand up for what you believe in, and much more. Times are getting harder now, and so you can't afford not to bring nothing to the table aside carrying a baby for 9 months. After that, what next? It's better to ask 3.5 billion women out there than to waste your time chasing a woman that brings no value to your life, men. Same for women too. Life is short, and you have the right to ask what she brings to the table. If you're a woman and you only bring what's between your legs, then maybe it's time for some self-evaluation. Now, gentlemen, if you have a full-time job or a business that you're building or an investment that you're making or a car that you have, or you're not living with your parents, you have value and you have the right to know what value she is bringing. The government is not particularly fair to men these days. And women, have you ever considered why men die first before their wives? That's right, stress. Having to carry the burden of taking care of everything for your family, that you barely have time for yourself, takes its toll over the years. So having a business, having a job, having a car, having a house of your own, you've just covered the basics. And the woman that you bring should be a plus. Should be a plus. All right? And should make life easier for you. So don't be a prey to these girls. Don't be a prey to these girls in women's bodies, who all they do is take take and take and take and never fill you up. You need a woman who is going to fill you up. A modern, mentally healthy woman understands that in a relationship, she's expected to add value to a man's life. Moreover, she understands that merely having female anatomy does not add sufficient value to a man's life to justify keeping her around. And honestly, just to name a few ways in which this value is added, I would say if she doesn't bring some form of emotional balance or value, then nah. Because when you feel like life has kicked you below the belt once too often lately and you want to vent, she should actually be able to understand what you're saying, and she should also be able to commiserate with you. And since the modern woman has a life of her own, she knows what the world out there can be like. She knows what the world out there can be like sometimes, and invariably will help you navigate through it. Do you understand what I mean? Number 2, intellectual value is a must, because the modern woman is intelligent and well educated. You can actually have an adult level conversation with a modern woman about things that don't involve shopping, children, shoes, or whatever she reads in a blog somewhere. All right, she's smart upstairs and has a mind of her own. She doesn't have to be told everything. She's decisive. And if she isn't bringing financial value into the relationship, I'm sorry. I am not saying she should be super rich, but come on, have some money of her own, her bragging rights, her vex money. Then nah, there is no value there. No woman, unless she's a gold digger or was raised in some kind of backward religious cult, expect to sit at home on her buttocks all day while some man is out there supporting her. She's not doing anything. She's not making money for herself. Now listen, if you choose a modern woman, she will add to the household income, which will allow both you and her attain a better lifestyle than either of you would living separately. And when she earns money, she's more keen to understand the value of money rather than spending it frivolously on something stupid. All right? Now, she should be capable of holding the fort during emergencies. When things go wrong with you, she should be able to hold in your stead. She should be able to have good social skills, because a modern mentally healthy woman knows that you're not interested in dealing with an endless avalanche of negativity and drama, and she understands that everything is not all about her. She knows how to regulate her emotions, and she understands that giving endless unsolicited advice is arrogant and rude. All right, she knows all of that and conducts herself accordingly. And of course, she knows how important sex is to the marriage, and she doesn't use that as a weapon to get what she wants from you all the time. Plus, she knows it's only for bonding, and that feeling fizzles out in no time if she doesn't get her life together outside of the bedroom. So that's not all there is to her as a woman, but she brings much more. She's not needy. She doesn't need to be glued to you 24/7 in order to be happy. She's fine with it if you have hobbies that she doesn't share. And she's fine with you needing that me time, because everybody does need that me time. Because she also realizes that she needs that me time too. I can go on and on about this, but as a man, if you're settling for less than this in your relationship, it's time to ask yourself why. Why do you feel that you don't deserve a woman who adds value in your life? And if you do have such a woman that I have just described, or you want such a woman who is mentally healthy, then you need to think of ways that you're willing to add value to her life as well. Because trust me, a woman who brings a lot to the table will not just stick around just because you have a male anatomy, any more than she's expected to stick around just because she has a female anatomy. So in order to keep such a woman, you have got to have value that you add to the table. You've got to bring value too as well to the table. If it is not 50-50, then it has to be like 60-40 or 70-30. At least bring something to the table as a woman. So what can a woman offer a man in a relationship when it comes to true love? Love, support, truth, loyalty, unwavering faith, wisdom, encouragement, a lifetime partner who is his biggest fan and cheerleader, someone to build a dream with, who also sees his vision, his worth, inspiration, someone who will stomp the heavens and earth for him, strength when needed, tenderness and compassion when it's dark and stormy, because the road is always dark and stormy and also slippery, someone who will keep him grounded, but will also let him fly. Someone who will help him grow, feed his soul, keep his heart safe. And finally, her heart. And that's it. That's it. That's all you need to bring into a relationship that is healthy as a woman. And until next time, be that you want to see in your partner. Be that you want to see in your relationship. Understand that no one can make you happy if you aren't happy alone. You're more likely to be happy when you start finding yourself adding value to your life. And that value is what attracts people to you. That value is what attracts what you desire. Do you get what I mean? My name is Jane Lawrence. See you on my next video.